Hello, everyone, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
And I am Matt Nost, and we are here to bring you another week of movie discussion. This time it's based around the release of Ryan Reynolds' Free Guy. But which are you going to go see that? Have you seen that yet?
I have seen it. Yes, I saw it this past Monday.
Gotcha.
And I liked it. That's what I will say.
When is your review coming out? Sometime, I'm assuming, when this comes out?
No, probably sometime next week when this comes out, probably. I'm learning, Matt, it took me a while to kind of start doing reviews again because I'm super nervous doing them solo. Like I just did my Suicide Squad review. I had to cut 25 minutes down to 9 minutes, 45 seconds because I'm a long-winded son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that on YouTube, people only like you to be about like 8 to 10 minutes long on a non-spoiler. If it's a spoiler, then, you can go on.
Yeah, you get in depth.
But like for a non-spoiler, just want a general gist. But I'm always like trying to say extra stuff and trying to add more shit. My girlfriend, she always calls it my diatribe gear. They click it, I click it, and I'm going like, and then I go tangents off the diatribe and then circle it back. And she's always like, it's too much. So I'm learning my lesson step by step.
Well, enjoy that. I would assume you have 5 to 10 minutes max on those, something like that.
Yeah. I'm
you
learning.
Get in, get out.
I'm also learning that you have to drop them a little bit early. So sorry, Matt. Go ahead. You think what?
Oh, you got to drop them early. What, to get traction?
Yeah, apparently you have to drop them like 2 to 3 days before the film comes out. So I didn't make that because today's Friday and it comes out tonight, or today's Thursday rather. It comes out tonight, but I'm going to do my damnedest to do that in the future. So piece by piece, step by step. But sorry.
Sure. Well, okay. Technically, yeah. When they hear this, it comes out 3 days later. So you're saying that the review would come out tonight as well, or
tonight or Wednesday? That's what I hear.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday, sure.
Yeah.
Friday day of, then I assume, just like I did for Old, that it's dog shit. If there was an embargo that says you can't put your opinion out until X or something like that.
Yeah.
Or we won't let you see it until Thursday or something.
Well, Variety just posted their Free Guy review on their website. So I imagine that means people can start posting their reviews. So maybe I'll post it earlier. Who knows?
Yeah.
Depends on how I feel.
Well, and something like that, I'm assuming they want word of mouth.
Yes.
If it's good, who doesn't? Who's trying to stymie that?
Right.
Yeah, looks like a fun idea. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this summer's been pretty good so far, all things considered.
I would say so. Yeah. Did you see Black Widow? Did you see?
Yeah, saw Black Widow.
Okay.
Saw Green Knight. Saw Jungle Cruise.
Okay.
Seeing Suicide Squad. Seeing Free Guy.
Are you seeing it at home, or are you going out to see?
No, I'm going out
to
see all of them. That's probably the reason that you'll hear on Thursday's show. I haven't seen Luca yet.
Oh, right.
Because I kind of want to get back to, but there hadn't been a whole lot of draw until now. Quiet Place 2 would have been the first one, but I wasn't fully vaxxed at that point. Or if I was just like newly past the 2 weeks and still like, I don't know if I need to run headlong back into this world just yet. Let me just put my big toe in there and see what the water feels like right now.
Like those old school Bugs Bunny cartoons going.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. You pull up and you're like, just that one big toe. Okay. It's not so bad. Meanwhile, the other end is lava and you just see people jumping in. You're like, what, hey, guys?
What is wrong with you?
Why are you not testing the water? How, genetically speaking, did your lineage survive this long if this is how you face a situation like this? I mean, I guess by dumb luck, a certain percentage of those types of individuals will always get through.
Oh, yeah.
Just there's too many. Yes. But anyway, jump into your lava. You enjoy that.
It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, because I went to see Suicide Squad as a fan event on Wednesday. Oh, no. What's today? So on Tuesday night. I went on Tuesday night. It was a fan screening here in San Diego. So it was press mixed in with fandom. And I emailed the publicist. I was like, I want to make sure I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but I want to make sure, are they practicing social distancing? And he said, well, we don't have that as a mandate anymore in San Diego. But they've promised me that there'll be enough space that at least you can have one person in between. I'm like, okay. So these two guys come and sit down. They want to sit right next to me. These two guys who live stream themselves being at the movie theater and whatever. They were on their iPhone or whatever. And I said, guys, social distancing, please. Like at least one seat. And they had all come out decked in their 3-piece suits or whatever to see the movie for their fans. And so they sat one over, but like one of the guys was grumbling, but the other dude, which I give a lot of credit to, was like, nah, dude, we got to respect that. And he put his mask on and they did the whole thing and he kept his mask on the whole movie. So I was just really like blown away. One guy was cool with it. The other guy was grumbling about it. And I appreciated the guy who was closest to me. He was the cool one. So it was really nice that someone did that because I was super nervous. Because when I went to Snake Eyes, dude, that was a Comic-Con screening. And those motherfuckers looked like they had been at Comic-Con for 3 days.
No, thank you.
Unwashed and sneezing and coughing and wanting to sit all together and around me. No, I went all the way to the back of the fucking theater in the corner to get as far away from people as possible to watch that screening. But every other screening has been a press screening, and there's like 10 people in the theater, which is great, So
yeah, no, that's fantastic. When I've gone to see a movie, it's not on a busy time, so I'm waiting.
Smart.
Yeah, through the whole weekend, I looked for Suicide Squad like opening night and be like, hey, that's a packed theater. It's not fully sold out, but it's about 85, 90, 2 days out. Like that's going to fully sell out.
Yep.
And I've done this enough times to know what that crowd is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bunch of young idiots like I used to be by and large.
Right.
So
ditto.
Yeah.
Let's
just say whatever. A chunk of them aren't wearing the mask. There's going to be one of them in there that's aggressively not wearing the mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had a large enough group of friends in high school. I just know if you're roughly that age, there's at least one prick out of 10 kids. There's at least one because that's how he stands out and that's what makes him different.
This gets him the attention.
Exactly. It's nothing against you, man. You can grow out of that shit. I've seen it happen to numerous kids.
Very true.
Yes.
Very true.
But large enough group of dudes at that age, I have safe money says Vegas wouldn't even give me odds on this bet right now. Just so you know, I texted my bookie at the MGM and he's like, no dice. No dice. He sounded like a knockoff Charles Bronson. No dice.
No dice. And then hung up on you.
Exactly. I ain't thinking that. Just hangs up.
That's a good Bronson, man.
I only know Bronson. I've never sat down and watched an entire movie because I just don't get it.
Really?
I don't. You either buy into that man or you don't. There's nothing like you're drawn into.
You don't get Charles Bronson at all? Really?
I mean, I get why he exists. He fulfills a need. Yes. I just don't get why it's him.
Okay. All right.
We could put another actor. I just don't buy him as this ultimate stoic hard ass.
Oh man.
He looks like this tiny little diminutive man. And like, I'm
gonna shoot you now.
Yeah. But that's all I know him as clips. And then when I was a kid, other people making fun of him, and that's always what stuck. And like The Simpsons, the town of Charles Bronson. That's I can't remember what the kid asked the mom, or the mom asked the kid, and the kid's like, no dice. Gives him a finger gun back or something. That's what I know of that man. No chance, Charles Bronson is. So much so that when he pops up in Westerns, because that was on the younger end of his career, it looks jarring.
Really? Okay. All right.
Well, I knew him as Mr. Majestic, Death Wish, and all that shit first.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Before I was older and then saw all the good Westerns.
Yeah.
So then at that point, you're like, whoa, okay. I knew like Magnificent Seven.
Yeah. Oh, he's great.
100%. Yeah. He is. And I knew he was in it, and I was kind of didn't care because it's such an ensemble piece.
Right. 1,000%.
But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So Vegas won't take that money. I tried. Atlantic City might.
Oh, yeah. Right. Atlantic City money. Good call.
They just might take that.
Oh,
yeah, but anyway. So,
yeah.
Free Guy I will see, but I'll probably see it on like a Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday night after it's been out.
Yeah.
If there's any kind of real demand, it's like, this isn't something I utterly have to need to see right now.
Right.
This isn't Endgame.
Right.
So
yeah, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Like, there's not a demand for you to go see that thing right now.
Where
you'll get around to it.
Where were you right there?
What do you mean?
Where were you?
Did
Your
I
eyes
lose?
are cast off, and I ended the sentence of like, and you just kind of sat there for a second. I was just wondering where mentally, where were you right
I
there?
never know where you're going to stop the sentence, so I just kind of ride along with you. And then maybe I was looking down at the picture of Luca here.
I'm calling baloney. Picture of Luca? That I'll buy. Started thinking about Luca. Just disappeared for a second there.
Sorry about that. Just wondering to myself.
It happens to all of us. It happens to me all the time. Sometimes in the middle of me talking, and I'll think about something else. And it's like, well, that's dumb.
You just be thinking something to yourself.
Well, because my mouth hasn't caught up to my brain's previous thought.
Yeah.
So it starts to venture off somewhere else, and occasionally I have to be like, grab that comet by the tail. Hey, but whoa, where do you think you're going?
Slow down. Slow down.
You got time for this?
No dice, guy.
No dice. Hey, what do you think you're doing? That's me in my head. I don't know how good or bad that is for a Bronson, but that is me doing other people's impressions in my head. I mean, how many death wishes were there? 7?
7.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I think there were 7.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy, right?
It's an interesting premise initially, stretched so incredibly thin.
Yeah. I mean, it's a vigilante thing. So like, you would imagine there's a lot of places to go. But when you start with a guy who's already in his 50s, there's not really a lot of places you can go, and Charles Bronson was on the tail end of being cool. Do you know what I'm saying? When he did Death Wish, because I think Death Wish is like 83, 84. No, or is it a 70s film? I think it's early
late 70s through mid 80s.
My bad.
Is the last time I remember.
Yeah, when is it? I don't want to slow down the computer. I've got multiple programs running right now. So let me see.
Yeah.
Death Wish. No days. 1974. Fuck me. All right. 1974 was the first one. And then 2 was 8 years later. So 82, they do the sequel. That's kind of how much more older is he at that point? Then it's Death Wish 3, then 4, 5. Jesus Christ, you're right. There were like a shit ton of these.
That's so many.
Oh my
It got
God.
ridiculous, man. And as a kid, it just felt like knockoff, Schwarzenegger, Stallone.
Right.
Look at this old guy trying to do action. Because I didn't know who he was before. So I just kind of dismissed it out of hand. And now it's affected my perception of the guy. That's for damn sure.
Oh, yeah. So his last one was in 1994, 2005, Death Wish, The Face of Death. The Face of Death, guy. It's right. The Face of Death.
And it's just Bronson looking back at you. I'm here.
Hey.
Exactly. It's your time to die.
You look a little peaked. You're right.
Exactly. Hey, I thought I was the Pale Rider. Oh, he's like Leslie Nielsen. He thinks he's in on the joke now, which makes him less funny. Bronson, it was better when it wasn't, it wasn't ironic. It was more earnest.
Oh man, and you've got the great co-stars.
Oh, listen to this Murderer's Row. Shannon Tweed's sister.
Just about. Kay Lenz is in the 4th one.
There's a name you may have heard. There's a name, maybe.
Leslie Ann Down is in the 5th one.
Need to see a picture.
And then the 3rd one is Deborah Raffin, who I have no idea who that is. But Martin Balsam from Psycho. Alex Winter, Bill and Ted.
Really?
He's in this.
Got to start working somewhere. There was a thread on Twitter about all the guest stars from Miami Vice.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. I can only imagine.
Some of them I knew and others I did not, because I watched it sparingly as a kid. It was just this cool idea. Right. That opening montage, I definitely knew that and the song.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
But I was a little kid. It wasn't made for me, so I wasn't really watching that show.
Right.
But I knew Helena Bonham Carter was on it. I did not know Liam Neeson was on it.
Oh, yeah. Liam. That's right.
Ed O'Neill.
Yes.
Steve Buscemi.
Yes.
Michael Richards. Stanley Tucci. Who else was on this thread?
Right.
Like, it was incredible. They had pictures for each one.
Yeah.
It's like, look how young, or Buscemi looks somewhat the same. This is actually kind of impressive. Liam Neeson is handsome. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter looks so young, like
Oh,
incredibly young.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's kind of mind blowing when you see where people start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just got to go, oh, wow, you were doing that. You know, that's a part of it as well.
Did you know that Willie Nelson had a guest
Yes.
role at one point?
Dude, I watched every episode of Miami Vice.
Oh, did you really? I
Until
didn't know about Willie. I knew about Phil Collins.
until maybe like the last, how could I say this? The last season, I didn't really watch that much. Like, I think Sheena Easton coming in to become his wife was pretty much the peak for me. And then after that, it was done.
Because what season did they go after aliens? That legit happened. I don't know. I've just heard that as a lore. It's like season 3 or 4.
I think you heard illegal aliens. I don't think you heard aliens.
No. Full on aliens. Like there was a Rastafarian somehow that tied into it. I'm not joking.
All right.
In one of the seasons, like that was a season-long arc.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, please look it up because I don't remember aliens. So clearly, that's when I stopped watching it.
Here we go.
Okay.
So, well, the 7th episode of the 4th season is called "Missing Hours," but it has to do with aliens, I guess.
Okay.
I was looking for a synopsis, and they're literally doing a minute-by-minute breakdown of what happens. Guys, who wants to read that? I mean, who's that into it? And it looks like an updated GeoCities meets Wikipedia page. Good stuff.
Right.
How was that the first result listed on Google? So maybe it was just a single episode.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, they're chasing a drug lord who killed Tubbs's brother.
Yes.
But eventually, the chase leads to Miami, where Detective Sonny Crockett enters the picture.
Oh my God. Sonny Croc Daddy.
Okay, so episode 4, or from season 4, this episode "Missing Hours" dealt with the Vice Squad's encounter with alien life forms.
Cut it out.
And,
season 4.
Yeah.
Season 4.
Alien abduction. Season 4, episode 7.
Wow.
Never seen it. I just heard about it and I was like, you gotta be fucking shitting me, right?
No shit, man.
They were out of ideas that quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Although television was a different animal at that point, but
yeah, I mean, I don't. Damn. I mean, because I remember that was that time, and I don't know, we're going to lose some of the young people, but that was that time. You like Miami Vice. I even remember Crime Story. Crime Story is on Peacock. That was Dennis Farina, set in the 50s, I think, in Chicago. And Dennis Farina is like essentially like an Elliot Ness kind of character, going after this mafia boss. No, it's set in Vegas. Sorry, in Vegas. Or it starts in Chicago. Then the second season, I think, went to Vegas. And he follows this dude. And it's funny and pretty dramatic. And Stephen Lang is in it. A very young Stephen Lang has as essentially the Harvey Dent character. Sure. In that he's a son of a well-respected attorney. And he is like the district attorney of Chicago, and he's all about stopping this mafia dude. But then he finds out how many people in the government are being bought off by this mafia guy, and that twists his mind around about the whole thing. And he becomes essentially Two-Face in the second season and aligns himself with the mafia guy and becomes his lawyer in all the stuff that Dennis Farina is trying to pin on him and shit throughout the season, which is great because these two friends all through that first season. The change happens at the end of the season finale. I think it's season 1, and then the whole second season is these two friends battling each other with that mafia guy in the middle, which is fantastic. So there was a time.
Really good.
There was a time.
That sounds like a TV show that should definitely be updated for streaming.
I agree.
Like that easily is a premise where it's kind of comic booky, but not. You know, nobody needs to have superpowers, but you have a lot of by framing it like Two-Face, be like, well, there's a realistic interpretation. You don't have to actually make him Two-Face, but you can give him the characteristics of each.
Yeah.
Yep, I like it. Good sell. So we got Farina attached to produce.
Oh yeah, totally. Oh, except he's dead. But yes,
I know. But his
Okay.
estate, they've already reached out. Is through the same guy I know in Vegas. There's a lot goes on that MGM Grand.
Hey,
Hey, I got a TV show for you.
The spirit of Charles Bronson. Oh my God.
Yep. Once again, haven't seen a single one of those. So enjoy your death wishes. And then they updated with Bruce Willis, and I was like, where is the demand for this? Why is this happening?
Well, it's because revenge films are a good genre right now.
Yeah, and it's got a name.
It does.
But
it does.
Technically, who associates quality with that name?
Yeah. Well, the first film is excellent.
Okay.
It's still good. Still holds up, the first film.
True. But then you have 6 of varying degrees of quality thereafter. And given that is the bulk of the product.
It's true. It's a fair point.
One being good out of, to me, the rest of the bunch. It's not like one good apple saves a spoiled bunch. That's not really the saying. So Fast and Furious suffers from this for me as well.
I'd like to turn this question around for a few minutes. Where are you going right now? Where are you going right now?
Oh, I don't know. It's a lot of sitting inside still. So
one spoiled apple saves the bunch. Wait, what?
No, I'm saying one good apple saves that spoiled bunch.
Oh, okay.
Of death wishes. Be like, that's not the saying.
I see what you're saying. The overall franchise itself. Well, what about the Matrix? I mean, Matrix Revolution and blah, blah, blah. Does that kill the Matrix?
Are you saying the first Death Wish is as good as the Matrix?
No, I'm saying it's the best of the Death Wishes.
Yes.
But there was a reason they did multiple sequels from that film because it must have been good at some level.
But you answered your question by answering mine. Is it anywhere near as good as the Matrix? No.
No,
Then what are we talking about here?
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. And the Matrix might show up on our lists. Which we talking about alternate reality movies, top 10 alternate reality movies. So, there's a bunch to pick from.
It's for free guy since they're in a computer generated environment and it's him realizing that there's another reality going on right next to him. So we're like, hey, why not do something like this? We could have even split the atom on this because there's a ton that qualify. Right. And a ton of excellent quality.
That's what I wonder about, like what each of us is going to have our own definition of what we consider to be alternate reality in a movie. So
and I looked up specifically the definition, hoping that could maybe trim some of these movies off my list so I don't have to go through and do a Sophie's Choice kind of over and over and over again.
Did that work?
Kinda. The problem is the definition opens it up to parallel dimensions, and it's kind of a catch-all. Alternate realities, if you want it to be. And it's like, all right, well, at that point, that didn't help, and that it made it worse and easier, and be like, well, fuck it, they're all in contention, so I'm just going to pick a whole bunch of these. Who cares?
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know, because there's no clear-cut definition that I could at least agree to.
It's true. It's true. I had the same kind of thing. I was like, well, wait. And then a piece of me is like, well, how long is the alternate reality in the movie? That matters. Are there multiple alternate realities?
Yes.
Does it matter that there's interdimensional stuff going on? So it's like all of that kind of factored into a lot of my decision-making process.
Yeah, I agree. It's like a weird nebulous kind of definition applies to this movie for this reason. And I'm not going to apply that strict definition to this one over here because it applies to another aspect that I think is worthy of this definition.
Right.
Kind of over and over and over again. So the list is somewhat extra difficult in that regard.
It is long but distinguished, as Goose once said in Top Gun.
For sure. And yes. All right. Do you want to get into the list or you want to talk about other things? What do you want to do? No,
you want to do? Okay.
I'm sure we'll still talk about other things in the middle of talking about the list. So
sounds good. How does the show work, man?
We set a topic, we go our separate ways, we show back up here. And then we fucking sit down, we strip off our shirts.
Nope.
And we go mano a mano. John, we strip off our shirts.
Hey, no dice.
We strip off
our
shirts.
For those of you who are listening, Matt literally
and we throw down to determine whose list is the best.
He literally has his shirt off. I cannot do that.
A test of manhood.
I don't have enough manhood.
Theater of the mind. I took my shorts off too.
We lather ourselves up, we get into the ring, and we battle over whose number is gonna achieve.
Honey, get me the oil. Fucking going down, bro. You're going down. I gotta channel my non-existent Greek roots and get back to the heritage of man-on-man wrestling.
I like it. I like it.
Just covered in olive oil.
A little slapping on the back of the neck as you're tying it up.
Oh, yeah. You're getting down. You're doing that crouch, going off against a dude that looks like Mark Ruffalo. Yep. Barenthal's over on the side, just like scraping olive oil off of him.
Got the Foxcatchers ready to go. That's great. All right. So let's get into this list, Matt.
Let's do it.
What's your number? Are you putting the shirt on or are you keeping it off?
Yeah, I'm putting it on.
Okay.
Hey, although it might be cooler in here if I
I'm sure. Hey, dude, I got no. If you want to keep it off, keep it off. I mean, it's your world, bro.
We'll play it by ear.
Okay. All right.
I'll tell you this: the shorts are staying off.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, let's get into this thing.
Okay, so
what's your number 10? Okay.
So many choices available. I was like, fuck it. And I put Mr. Destiny at 10 because it's going to get cut off anyway.
Jim Belushi. Yes. Yeah. Very nice.
So it's the what if, and for him, he played baseball in high school and he missed a key pitch and he feels it changed the entire trajectory of his life. So what happens if he hit that pitch and how would his life have turned out differently? And then realizes that the grass isn't greener.
Right.
Which is, naturally where this story would go.
Right.
But it's actually done with a lot of heart. It was in that little mini Belushi run that I know you and I are both kind of fans of.
Yeah. Agreed.
He had like 3-4 films. We're like, you know what? I really like John Belushi. And then everything, by and large, I saw him in after that. It didn't strike me the same way.
I think he started to believe his press when he started to get good, when these movies started to make money. So he started to get a little cocky about it. And I will take his K9 over Turner and Hooch any day. I enjoyed K9 way more than I enjoyed Turner and Hooch. So,
I think K9 is more trying to be a buddy cop film.
Yes.
Turner and Hooch is trying to be a family film.
Yes, agreed. Hey, my crazy dog.
Yeah, but he's got the vet, and they fall in love with it because the dog brings them together. And
that's
I haven't seen that movie in years. I haven't seen either in so long. But I didn't like Turner and Hooch near as much when I was a kid as K9.
I think it's the first film that I officially walked out of was Turner and Hooch. I was an hour into I'd never walked out of a movie, and an hour into the movie, I was there with one of my best friends, Maurice. I looked at him and I go, this is shitty. Let's go get lunch. And he's like, yeah, man, let's get the fuck out of here. So it was the first time we've ever, because he was a big movie guy too. We just both kind of agreed at that moment, like, this is a waste of our time. Let's get out of here. So
did you get your money back?
No, because I didn't know you could do that at that time. And plus, we're an hour into the movie. I feel like it would have been not in my wheelhouse to be like, hey, you know what? We watched an hour of this movie. Give me my money back. It just wouldn't have worked. So.
Hey, where's my dough? Hey. Just walk up and do that. How about some popcorn for the road?
Hey. Shaking the bowl, shaking the bucket.
Hey, top off this Diet Coke.
Hey, you didn't pay for it. Put it in there.
I think Angie just walked up and being like, you know what? Is there any chance? Because that movie is just not good.
Probably. You probably.
But I didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
And now I think an hour as an adult, I think I would. I don't think I could ask for it.
Yeah, no, not an hour. I mean, that's like eating, I don't know, half the meal, 3/4 of the meal, and then going like, you know what? It doesn't taste that good. Can I get my money back?
Yeah.
To me, at least to me.
Yeah. I've never gotten more than like a bite or a bite and a half.
Yeah.
Before I sent something back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you take one, the half comes and you're like, hold on, wait a second. Was that as bad as I thought it was? And you take it like a little bit. Yeah. This isn't for me. There's nothing worse when you order something and they bring it to you and it looks delicious and whatnot. And you take that first bite and you're like, nothing.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got a whole plate of this.
We went recently to BJ's. And just because there's one like 10 minutes away from us, which is cool. I like BJ's. I like the pizza there.
I've been to many a BJ.
Yeah. So we're hanging out there and she's getting a salad, of course. But I'm ordering, I ordered the special. There's like this bacon steak special. I'm like, okay, this could be fun with some kind of sauce drizzle. I get the steak and it's a steak. It's $28, man. It's not cheap. And I'm taking a bite and Matt immediately, I was like, this is horse crap. And I took a small piece and I gave it to Lindley and she was like, oh God, honey, that's terrible. I go, I don't know what to do here. This is steak. Like, I don't want to send a $28 meal back. So the waitress comes over. She's like, how's everything? And she sees the look on my face and she's like, oh my God, you don't like it. And I go, I'm sorry. I never do this. And Lynn's like, he never does this. He never sends food back. I'm like, it's terrible. And so I felt so self-conscious. And I said to her, I tried to be like as kind as possible. I was like, I'm so sorry. It's just not good. Blah, blah, blah. Please, will you just take it back? And I don't want to be that guy. And, just bring, let me just order a pizza, the works, whatever, like a medium or whatever. I'll do that. And she's like, okay, do you want to get your money back? I go, you can call the manager. I'm not a big. And so she thought me being like all like apologetic about it was her way of charging me for that and for the pizza. So when the check came, I was like, wait, what happened here? And she said, well, you said it was okay. And you didn't necessarily want to talk to the manager. So I was like, oh, no, you're going to take that off.
Well, I think you go tell the manager regardless.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And it just makes the most sense. Working in a restaurant, you would have to go and be like, hey, he hated a steak. He's being really nice about it. Do we want to comp this?
Right.
You would have that conversation.
Exactly.
So the fact that she didn't, some of this is on her, just either forgetfulness or maybe she's new.
Yeah.
Or laziness.
Yeah. Or trying to trick me. Or one of the, that's
potentially. I mean, I usually think the best of servers and they could be having a bad day, but that's like a no-brainer. I've worked in too many restaurants and bars.
Yeah.
Right. Something like this comes up and it's a high end. Be like, hey, heads up. This is happening. What do you want to do? You have to have that conversation because you can't just. Yeah. There's an expectation level, and only the manager, the buck stops with them. So I agree with you in this instance. Somebody should have had a conversation.
Yeah, it felt weird. I did never, it was so weird. So, but then I had to deal with that, which was really uncomfortable. But yeah, I don't like to send stuff back. I'm just not a big fan of it. Like, you ordered it,
me either.
But if it's this extreme where you're really not going to enjoy the meal and eat it at all, then I think that's nothing wrong with that. It happens every once in a while.
Yeah, I suffered through. Went to this Italian place, and that's where they brought a bowl of pasta. Those little clamshell.
Oh yeah,
nocettis, I think they were.
Okay,
and just like sausage and fresh grated chard and pecorino, and there was cooked chard in it and or chard or however the fuck you pronounce that.
Sure.
And I was like, this sounds delicious in one bite. And I was like, there is no flavor. None to this with all these ingredients. But what are you going to do? It's like, it's not like it's terrible.
Right.
It's fine. There's nothing technically wrong with this. I'm sure this is how it's supposed to taste. It's just, you're sending out something because their appetizers were amazing.
Oh, wow.
And then the other entree that we got was, it was good. It wasn't great, but we looked over a couple other tables and be like, okay, well, next time, because we're definitely going back. The pasta was fine, but appetizers were next level.
Right.
We're like, okay, well, we just clearly ordered the wrong thing.
Which
there's no reason you make two different appetizers that good.
Yeah. And then this.
Yeah. You're a big presentation piece and be like, okay, well, maybe this pasta or this sauce just wasn't for me. I'm more than happy to try something else.
Right.
But yeah, I agree with you. There should have been a discussion on the back end with the general manager and this waitress or waiter.
It just surprised me. That's all. Anyway, all right, so that's your 10, Mr. Destiny. Yes.
That was my 10, Mr. Destiny. My 9 is Pleasantville.
That is my 10. Yes. Like that movie.
Yeah, it's good. I just don't know how often I go back and rewatch it at this point.
Yeah, but I've seen it a few times, but every time I do watch it, I enjoy it. And I like the ingenuity of the black and white versus the color, it's very clearly a film about generations, right? How certain people look at certain things based on their own generation and breaking down that perception of it. I think Reese does a nice job. And was it Tobey Maguire as the brother?
Diane Lane, Jeff Daniels.
Right.
Or Or was it Diane Lane? It wasn't.
No,
Diane
it's
Lane.
Joan Allen. Joan Allen.
Allen. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. And what they go through. Yeah. And then William H. Macy is like the leader of the town.
Yeah, well, he's the husband.
Right.
And
all that they go through. And
who is the TV repair? You know what I mean? That is the gateway for Tobey Maguire. Is it Don Knotts?
Nothing about that. Yep, it is Don Knotts. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire, Jeff Daniels, Joan Allen, William H. Macy.
But I like that because Don Knotts is so synonymous with the golden era of television.
Right. That's what
for him to be like a TV repairman and introduce him in Tobey Maguire to a television world that he gets sucked into. But it's something that most people would assume Don Knotts would want to keep pristine, and the idea of this idealistic world.
Right.
And why are you messing with, my past and my heritage? I thought it was a really great casting on their part.
Yeah. Wow. Paul Walker's in this thing as well.
I didn't know he's the high school stud. Forgot about that for a half second.
Wow. Skip.
It's like Reese Witherspoon's. They're orbiting each other until Tobey Maguire shows up.
Right.
He's in the gym when they're all making those jump shots, and then what is it? He gets laid first, so then he starts missing.
And then doesn't he see if it starts to see the in colors after he gets laid? I think, isn't that right or no?
That's where the colors start to come in when the self-expression and the people begin to grow and break out of the shell of what they've been.
Yeah.
As they evolve, then color comes into their world. It's a good movie. The reason it's at 9 is I've seen it a number of times.
Yeah.
I like the movie a lot. Rewatchability is a factor when there's so many good movies in the mix.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. So what's your 8?
8 is Source Code.
Oh, that's my 7. Nice.
Good timing.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's the alternate reality of his memory and past.
Yes.
But living in that and that becoming a reality in and of itself. It's a really interesting idea. I remember walking out of the theater, just kind of mind slightly blown. What a great, simple concept, but yet high construct, executed very well. And it was part of the Jake Gyllenhaal is somebody I'm going to look forward to watching now.
Yeah.
It's like numerous of the 2, 3, 4 movies, like right at a bunch. And then after that, it was Southpaw into Nightcrawler and it's just like, this dude puts out really interesting. Even I think the movie is just okay.
Right.
I like him in it.
Yeah.
Vera Farmiga.
Yes.
And
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright. Thank you.
Yeah. And Michelle Monaghan is the girl, is the woman.
Oh, yeah. Could have been one of the last Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, right.
At this level type of movie.
And
she's
directed
on Blue
by
Bloods now, isn't she?
She's what?
On Blue Bloods now, isn't she?
Oh, probably. Yeah. I
think so.
I know she showed up in the last Mission Impossible film because of that relationship with Tom Cruise in the Mission Impossible 3. But yeah, she's in this. She's in the show Messiah. Was that on Hulu or something like that? I don't know.
No clue. Never even heard of it.
Yeah, Messiah. I thought it was on Hulu. And The Path. Remember The Path? Oh, that's on Netflix. So The Path. Remember The Path? Do you remember that one? That was kind of like
one Catherine watched.
It was kind of a cult one, Scientology one, with her and I think Giovanni. Oh no, Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad.
That was did not see it.
3 seasons. Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, and Patriots Day. That's right. She was Mark Wahlberg's wife in Patriot Day. That's right. Hey, there's a bomb. Hey. Easy. Yeah.
Well, that was what, our 8-7?
Yeah. 8-7. I like Source Code. It's a good movie. Duncan Jones, Mr. David Bowie's son, directing that film. But he did Moon
with Moon.
Yeah. He hasn't done. Have you liked anything that he's done since?
Give him time. Give him time.
Matt. Matt.
It can't be easy being the son of a man who fell to earth, you know? You're the child of a stranger in this world. And that has its own psychological problems that only you have experienced.
Fair point. It's a fair point.
Now your kids they'll be better acclimated.
Yeah, Source Code was 10 years ago, bro.
Sounds about right. Jake Gyllenhaal was young.
Wow. Moon was 12 years ago. For God's sakes. Yeah, Warcraft and Mute were the last two things he directed. I thought Warcraft was okay. It wasn't that great.
Oh, is that the World of Warcraft movie?
Yeah. The World of Warcraft movie.
Yeah, there's something in there.
Yeah.
I like the dude from Vikings. I don't understand why Charlie Hunnam gets every shot for that type of dude.
Hunnam. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I never buy Hunnam in damn near any. I think Triple Frontier, whatever that was called, was the first time I was ever like, you're fully immersed in this role for me.
Finally.
Yeah. Instead of the Pacific Rim, and he has a couple different macho characteristics that he does.
Yeah.
Where he holds with his thumb on both sides of his belt buckle, and he's like strutting like he's an old gunslinger. It's like every character does this. Okay. I'm not. If I didn't buy it the first time, I ain't buying it this time.
That's why I like his. Like he was in The Gentleman, and I like.
He was good. Okay, I apologize. Right? He was good in that.
But that's his accent. That's his language. That's his culture. He knows that, right? And in other things, I don't think he's as good or as willing to create the characters on a deeper level the way he is in other things that he feels more comfortable with, you know? And certainly Pacific Rim, Jesus Christ, he's probably just cashing a paycheck being in that movie, to be honest.
Oh, that was a break. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, maybe it was. You're
Guillermo
right.
Del Toro.
There wasn't much. I mean, there's nothing to that character, man.
There's nothing to that story.
Yeah.
And I think the kaiju fights are incredible. I've gone back to rewatch those.
Oh, sure.
I don't know how many times. And I like the Charlie Day and the other scientists. They were well cast, but they just utterly wasted Idris Elba. Someone explained to me or mentioned to me, maybe I saw it online, I can't remember, but if you did the movie from the Asian girl's perspective, and they started breaking down how the story would go, and you're like, there's a story. Why didn't we do that?
Yeah.
Well, because she has that run-in, but it gives her character motivation.
Yeah.
Of why this would be a lifelong type of quest, as opposed to Hunnam got into it because him and his brother were always good in a bar fight. So we're going to trust them with a $500 billion machine. Like,
we can always get down.
Yeah. And I don't know why you need the sync technically.
Yeah.
But at least they set it up, unlike freaking stupid Kong and.
Oh yeah. They used it in Kong.
Yeah.
That's right.
But they never explained why.
Nope.
Doesn't make any sense. So
just that
one of many things in that movie. If you tell me it was good, then I mean, the story is not. No. You can't defend it. If you want to see the action, all that, fine.
Right.
But it's just that movie is a mess.
I don't disagree with you, bro.
That is not on this show, even though there is a parallel reality in it.
Yes.
Never going to make my list.
Very good. Very good. All right. So as I said, my number 10 is Pleasantville. My number 9 is Black Swan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good call.
Because of, the alternate reality with Mila Kunis and all of that. And she thinks all these things are happening. And the way Aronofsky directs it, where it's like, okay, what's real or what isn't real? So you as the viewer are brought along, in essence, trying to keep tabs on two realities at the same time and wondering which reality is the truth, which reality. And even at the end, it's still a little ambiguous, enough so that you could make a case that you don't know what the real ending of the movie is. You don't know if she lives or dies or whatever, but I like it. And I thought it's a damn good film. And there were two choices for Aronofsky for alternate reality.
Yes, there are.
And I chose this one mostly because this one doesn't go too way out there like the other one does. Actually, there could have been third if you wanted to throw Mother in there. There's an alternate reality of that movie as well.
Yeah.
But this one I think is the most palatable one. It's the most interesting one, and I think Natalie won the Oscar for this one. So she does a damn good performance.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
There's
so much. Yeah.
I knew there were two Aronofskys. I didn't choose either.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Black Swan, it's a great choice. That's the thing with this term. It can mean this, where is it a psychological rift? Is it
right?
Or is it an actual, you brought up earlier, like a parallel dimension opening up type of thing?
Yeah.
But solid. That was your 9?
Yeah, 9. And my 8 is Superman Red Sun.
Did that get a movie release? Like a theater release?
Oh, now you're going to throw that in, mister. I'm going to put TV specials on my lists.
that's hands down to me of what I've read, the best Superman.
Yes, it is.
But
See if it was released. I think that's
my
fair.
pool is much limited. I didn't think it got an official theatrical.
Let's take a look here. Let's take a look if it got a theatrical
I've
release.
streamed it at some point over, so
yeah.
But I didn't know Mask of the Phantasm had a release. At least I don't remember one until after.
Oh yeah, Mask of Phantasm was definitely released in the theater. I remember.
Yeah, but I don't even know if I knew that one had a full release. I don't know if I recall.
No, you're right. Only on Blu-ray or DVD.
That's fine, dude. It's a great look.
Right.
It is a movie.
I can change it. I'll change it just to keep it chill.
I'd rather talk about a movie we've never talked about as opposed to putting something on there we have.
Oh, in terms of Superman Red Son?
Yeah. We've never talked about the Superman Red Son.
Sure. Do you like it? What was your feeling?
You put it on your list, so
okay.
Let me know. I will happily chime in. But
I think one of the hardest things to do is to transfer really great comics into good animated films, right? Sure. I mean, Dark Knight Returns was incredible in its 2 parts. You got to buy both parts and enjoy that story. So when they were tackling Superman Red Son, I was wondering if they were going to pull back on some of the symbolism, on some of the statements that they're trying to make, what it would be like if Superman had landed in the Soviet Union versus the United States. What kind of Superman would you get? And I think they absolutely nailed it, man. I mean, they did such. Sam Liu directed this thing. J.M. DeMatteis wrote it, who I love from Justice League International and other things as well. And you had Jason Isaacs as Superman, Diedrich Bader as Lex Luthor, Vanessa Marshall, who does Star Wars Rebels. She was Wonder Woman. You had Paul Williams. Yes, that Paul Williams, for you who are old enough to remember, as Brainiac throughout this thing. And Tara Strong, a female, voiced a young Superman in this thing as well. And so I like that this is all presented in the world of the Soviet Union and how he progresses through it. And it challenges you as a viewer to go like, yeah, you know what? Okay. I never looked at it this way. Yeah, what would it be like? How scary would it be? Yeah.
Or do you believe in any of these collectivist ideas? Can
you
see the good that they believe that they're trying to do?
Yeah. Right.
When I heard about that, so it was probably like 8 years ago or something. Chris Burns, who you know.
Oh, yeah, Chris.
I was clowning on Superman, how bad.
Yeah.
Just how much I don't enjoy the movies.
Yeah.
And he is a Superman fan, just like you and almost every other comic book fan is. They still enjoy the movies, and I just do not. He's like, have you ever read, and he rattled off, but Red Son initially stuck out.
Yeah.
Because I told him, I was like, I've watched some of the straight to DVD stuff, and I find that interesting.
Right. Yeah.
And he was like, read the graphic novel Red Son. So I went and got it. And I was like, that was excellent. That's an interesting, just like a simple premise of what if he happened to land in Kansas, but what if he landed in Irkutsk?
Yeah. Right.
And then how does that change him or the society around him or
the world?
Exactly. The world. The U.S.'s place in all of this. What an interesting, simple jumping off point to a wildly complex and engaging story.
Well, and that's just reiterates or reaffirms the power of Superman, the character, but also the actual being in the world of the comic books, right? I mean, he eventually kills Stalin and becomes president. And he kills in this thing and becomes president of the Soviet Union. And then Lex Luthor becomes president of America, and this whole thing, this battle, and he uses his natural good instincts as a president of the Soviet Union to like spread communist ideals all over the world, but then knocks down the Berlin Wall and makes all these changes. And you're like, man, this is so fascinating. And then Lex with being married to Lois Lane is a really unsettling future or alternate reality to think about. But eventually the old cliche or the old roles come in where you're cheering for Superman, but Superman's leading the Soviet Union versus Lex, who's leading the United States, who's being kind of evil, creating that superior Superman, enlisting Hal Jordan as Green Lantern. So all of this, I just really was fascinated by. And I think the animated film did a really great job of capturing what was so damn good about that graphic novel, which I think I have on my shelf back there. Yeah.
That's one of the things I've always liked about DC. Instead of everybody embracing someone like Superman, it makes sense that there would be a counterpoint like Lex Luthor.
Right.
or Batman within the Justice League having the plan to take out all the other ones in case they go off the deep end one day.
Right.
It's like that actually seems very rational. And Lex Luthor, the more you see from his perspective, you're like, he's not 100% wrong here.
Right. Which I think is damn cool. Yeah.
When he's not played to be like this over the top mega mind villain type of thing, when it's more so like the guy that does want power, but is also like, we should have a plan to take you down. How do you not see the logic in that?
Just in case.
Just in case. Not saying we're going to use it, but you can stop any of our attempts. It doesn't seem fair that this is a one-sided fight.
Yeah.
And you're like, the older you get, when you're a kid, you're like, it's Superman. No, why would you do that? And you get to be an adult and be like, I can understand the argument that he is making.
Of course, because as you get to become an adult, you see the gray areas of all this kind of stuff.
You can see where the threat, you could go from non-existent to full-blown.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty quickly.
You're right about that, Matt. Sorry. When it comes to DC and they're creating the counterpoint, I think that's brilliant that you bring that up because Marvel doesn't do that.
No, they just embrace.
Yeah. And Marvel, anytime anybody questions the superheroes and the things they're doing, they're immediately made to be villains in the movies, right? Like Adrian Toomes in Spider-Man Homecoming. He's a guy who was helping out a construction crew. They were picking up all this stuff. They were cleaning up after the Avengers had destroyed New York.
Yeah.
And then through some bullshit red tape, this guy who was making a living doing this, the government, the local government, they didn't give a shit about him or his family or his business, his small business. And they tried to put him out of business, not on purpose, but they essentially were putting him out of business. So he went to alternate means, and the whole time at the beginning of the movie, he's bitching about how these guys just left all this shit here and go and destroy stuff and they never pick it back up again.
Yeah.
But he's eventually made out to be the villain. Who else is, the Sokovia Accords, like that whole thing. Yes, I know it's Thunderbolt Ross. Yes, I know it's like, but the idea of being able to understand and not have these superheroes violate sovereignty of nations on a whim because they hear something. I think that's a valid conversation to have. And anytime you give supreme decision-making power to a person like Captain America who can knock out 100 people on his own is dangerous.
Usually, if memory serves, within Marvel, any character like that, they're not one of the main baddies they go up against overnight. I guess you could say Doom a little bit, but I never really read Fantastic Four.
Right.
But Helmut Zemo would be but how often does he really come up?
Yeah.
Whereas it's Superman's primary villain is this individual. Put him front and center.
And Zemo was doing what he was doing because they killed his wife and daughter.
Yeah.
Right. So there was, because of their carelessness and because of them taking up, because of Stark's hubris, he created Ultron on accident. And because of Ultron, that's what happened at Sokovia. Mm-hmm. And his wife and daughter are a result of their deaths are a result of Tony's hubris. But who's going to make hubris pay? Who's going to make Tony pay? No one's going to put Tony in prison. No one's going to put any of these people in prison.
No, but they're going to walk away scot-free.
Exactly. And so I think that's what I hope this new phase is more about, kind of approaching that and talking about that and exploring that. Because I do think sometimes DC gets a bit of an unfair shake when it comes to that.
I don't want them to get bogged down on it because then it turns into a Cantabite or whatever the hell that's called.
Oh.
Monte Carlo in space and be like, oh, here's war profiteers, war's bad. And be like, we already know that. But we don't have people that can use magic in our wars. So I don't give two shits about the war profiteers when there are space wizards. Yeah. Let's get back to the fucking space wizards.
Somebody get me the space wizards.
It's so frustrating. That whole trilogy now to me, 2 and 3 were just duds, beyond duds. Anyway.
Fair enough.
First one was interesting. You got something here.
Yeah.
No payoff for it whatsoever.
Yeah. All right. So there we go. What's your, that was my 8, Superman Red Sun. What's your 8 or 7?
My 7 is Groundhog Day.
Oh, that's a punt.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was, tentative. I was like, is it an, I get, yes, it is an,
I think it is.
I went back and forth. Yeah.
Absolutely.
6, I've got Inception.
Oh, okay. That's your, I didn't put that on my list because to me that's dreams, but you can make a case that's alternate reality if you get stuck in that dream, for sure, like he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Perception is reality. So if you perceive this to be real, then if you die on the outside while you're dreaming, then you would just inevitably die inside the dream anyway.
Right.
So that is your experience of what life is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I included it for that. It's the most high concept of all of these, and that there's just layers stacked on top of layers, stacked on top of layers.
Right.
And you can see where, Nolan really sowing his oats on the plane with time. And now that's become practically a staple in every one of his films.
Yeah.
When you have Interstellar, always concerned about time, Tenet moving backwards with negative entropy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this to me was the announcement of, when I have this much money, I think I kind of like doing this. I mean, there's Dunkirk in the middle there.
Yeah.
But that to me seemed more like it'd be really cool to tell this story, and it's about my home country, and give us a little shine instead of the Americans winning every World War II movie on their own. So
yeah,
I put Inception on my list at number 6.
I've been meaning to do a rewatch of Dunkirk. I mean, I bash it all the time because I only saw it once, and I felt it was a little boring, and I didn't know who the lead was. But so many people like it, Matt. It just makes me rethink.
Why watch that when you could watch 1917?
That's true. Oh my God, 1917 is so fucking good.
I mean, granted, that's World War I technically.
Yeah,
but
true.
They're only a year apart.
Oh, in release?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
it's like 1917 to me is an all-timer. Dunkirk was, I don't know, visually interesting to look at. I couldn't tell any of the fucking actors apart at numerous points.
I'd rather watch to be honest with you, I'd rather watch the Churchill one with Gary Oldman.
Darkest Hour.
I like that more as a what do you call that? As a Dunkirk film, because Dunkirk is a big part of that film.
And as a singular performance.
Yeah, it really does, man.
Quite possibly.
I love his performance.
Because nobody stands out that much in Dunkirk to that degree.
Not really. Not even Brana. Not even Brana.
But you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. What's your 6?
Well, that's my 6. So
that is your 6. Okay.
We've done your 7. What's your 6?
My 6 is Palm Springs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I really I wanted to kind of champion that movie, and put it when I really loved it. I've seen it like 3 times now. Him and Christian Milioti, they have great chemistry. And then you throw in J.K. Simmons as that X factor through this whole thing. And it is very, very good. If you guys haven't seen Palm Springs, I can't recommend it enough. It's on Hulu. It was supposed to get a theatrical release, but of course with COVID and everything like that, they just put it on Hulu. But it's damn good. And Andy Samberg, it's funny to me with Samberg. Like I think he has the real potential to be another, like, those guys like Bill Murray or Robin Williams. They could eventually move into a drama situation. Okay. And this is as close as he's come, in my opinion, and been successful at it. He's done other, I think, kind of dramatic things, but I didn't buy him too much in it. This one I really bought. The frustration, the desperation, the situation that he's in, and the alternate realities that they have to kind of keep going through over and over and over again before she gets what's happening. And when she finally gets what's happening, then they kind of have to come together and figure this out. And then when you find out how it's happening, it's even more insane for sure. But yeah, if you haven't seen this one, I can't recommend it enough. Funny, really well shot, and it's quick. You're in and out in like an hour and 40, hour and 45. It is a quick movie, man.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I'm just not a Samberg fan. I don't dislike the guy. It just, his humor didn't ever really land for me.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's good. It's well thought out. The big productions on those songs and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although Lazy Sunday I did like.
I love Lazy Sunday, man. Fucking hell, I love Lazy Sunday.
But then after that, a lot of them were like, "Oh, I like the first time, but I will never revisit."
Yeah,
this song ever again. Yeah, on a boat. It's like, oh, okay, that's fun. Good for you. Why not? I'm not hating on what you do. It's just not. It's not made for me, I guess.
Right. Understood. Like a boss. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, because it's basically this guy who's stuck in a time loop. And then you find out why and how it happened. And then why J.K. Simmons is part of as the antagonist, how he got into this situation. himself. And so and then they, of course, logically they start to have feelings for each other, Christina Milioti and Andy Samberg. But it's a really good film, and how it turns out, I think I appreciate a lot as well. Okay. Well, before
6,
it is. What do you want to say?
No, please.
Oh yeah. Before we jump into our top 5, let's take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors, and then we'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're back, Matt. We're starting off with your 5 here. What do you got?
My 5. I think this movie made one list for sure, assuming we've done that list in the past. But Alice in Wonderland.
Ooh, nice. The Johnny Depp one or the animated?
No, the animated.
Those.
No, I've seen them all. I've seen the 2 Depps. They're both terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible.
Right. Oh. No, the animated one, falling down. It's the alternate reality of whatever is down the rabbit hole, whether this is, I guess, hypothetically all in her mind, or it is a separate world that she's entering into.
Great choice, man.
It's just the over-the-top inventiveness, but it's also kind of crazy that they made this for kids when they did.
Yeah.
Because it's got some darkness. The Cheshire Cat you want to like, and yet you're creeped out by. The Mad Hatter and the hair.
Mm-hmm.
Their looniness is right on the border of psychosis.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, it gives you a feeling of unease, and they keep running into characters like this over and over and over. The stupid white rabbit just keeps taking you deeper and deeper into this wormhole. The Queen, Off with Your Head. The visuals, I was enamored with it as a kid and also scared in numerous parts. And yet I think that kind of fear made it all the more enthralling.
Yeah.
But it's a nice update of a classic novel.
Mm-hmm. It's fascinating to go back and watch these quote unquote G-rated movies, Matt, from those times, because some of those topics, some of those themes within the movies are not G-rated. They're higher than G-rated. They're PG or PG-13 or even R, depending on the situation in certain of those animated films. So I find it to be really interesting, because people talk all the time about how nowadays it's a rare thing to see a G-rated movie. Man, decades ago, it used to be all the time. You'd see a bunch of G-rated movies. But I think with that new rating system, it kind of forced people to decide what kids could handle, what they couldn't handle. But back then, we were able to handle, or they were able to handle, whatever you throw at them in terms of the themes and the visuals in some of these movies. I mean, you can't tell me that Pinocchio donkey changing scene is G-rated, for fuck's sake. That is hardcore, man. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's always interesting. But this was
at the same time, they're also putting out Disney, the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That was the preponderance of childhood entertainment that's just unwatchable. Utterly unwatchable. And then on the animation side, they take the biggest swings, which is interesting. But they got into the meat grinder of, we need to churn out these movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pippi Longstocking.
The Cat from Outer Space.
Now we're getting into some dicier territory.
Computer wore tennis shoes. The computer wore tennis shoes. I remember that one.
Yeah. Bedknobs and Broomsticks, I think, is good.
Yes.
But it's a blend of their animation plus real world, and it's an interesting idea type of thing.
Angela Lansbury in that thing. That's right.
And I didn't mind Pete's Dragon as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I loved the dragon.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to get back to the dragon as much as I possibly could as a kid.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
But I didn't like Pippi Longstocking, or almost like 90% of their live action stuff. I just thought was utter shit.
Yeah.
I just didn't know those words as a kid. But those were the emotions I felt. This is terrible. It's still better than nothing, but this is terrible.
This is just terrible.
And now my parents would just give me their iPhone and I would watch YouTube if I was 6.
Yeah, or buy you an iPad.
Or bring the iPad with. And I'm not blaming parents for that.
No,
it's got to make life so much easier.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Keep this little thing occupied instead of going bouncing off the walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you're in public.
Oh, yeah. Every time we see a kid have a tantrum or hear stories about kids having issues, man, I mean, Lily and I are both just like, yep, this is why we didn't have them. We're just not we're just not patient. We're just not in that place. You know what I'm saying? We're never going to be in that place. So we've decided that very clearly.
I can't remember. I've seen the joke a couple of different times, but the first time I saw someone do you're walking up on the tail end of an argument when a kid gets smacked in the mouth. You didn't see, like if you're in a department store, you didn't see the 15 minutes leading up to it.
Right.
Where it's amazing that the adult managed to hold on for that long.
Yeah.
And it's all done for comedic effect. It's a fucking joke.
Right.
But just the build up and you're like, yeah, I could see, just a quick pop in the backhand, like pep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would not get involved.
Hell no.
No. I mean, I wouldn't get involved. It's not my problem. Like if your kid, yeah. I mean, it's different if you're whipping your kid with a belt.
Yeah.
For like 10, 15 minutes. That's a different situation. But like a smack or something like that, it's not my business. It's not my fucking business, man. I don't know what this being a kid. Like. Yeah.
I realize that's not the best solution. And it honestly should be avoided at all costs. But there's got to be a child out there somewhere where they are the ones where this is the most effective to get them to stop and learn the lesson.
Yeah.
Just saying, we run the gamut of all people. Others, there's a kid out there that can only be explained to them because they won't learn otherwise.
Right.
It's like we're all different.
Exactly.
Sometimes people need a smack in the mouth. That's all. Yeah.
Smack in the mouth.
And this belief is why more than likely we don't have children.
Yes, agreed.
It's a good thing we're not parents.
Oh, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree. I love kids. I love my friends' kids and hanging out with them and whatever. I always have a good time. But no, I don't have the patience. No fucking way. No fucking way.
Yeah, I'm a fantastic uncle.
Yeah, exactly. I'm well aware of my limits, and I wouldn't have a kid now because of my limits. Anyway, all right. So that was your 5.
That was my 5.
Okay, so my 5 is Fight Club because.
Okay. Yeah. I hadn't thought of it like that. For sure.
2 different realities going on. There's the reality of blah, blah, and then he discovers, oh wait, both those realities are the same reality. He's just been living in a situation. A
psychotic break.
A psychotic break, exactly. So there's 2 separate realities going on at the same time as he's experiencing this whole thing, and you're watching both realities, and you are just like him when he finds out, what the actual reality is. Because you could argue there's 3 separate realities. There's there's the narrator's reality, there's Tyler Durden's reality, and then there's the actual reality.
Hybridized between the 2.
Exactly. So, but we've talked about the film many, many times, so I don't want to we don't need to spend too much time on it. But yeah, just one of those films that I love rediscovering it over again. And I don't ever watch it like all the time. I like to give a lot of space in between.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I enjoy the performances and I enjoy where it takes you and I enjoy what it says about commercialism. Yeah. Consumerism, all of it. Yeah. So,
but I agree though, because I like the impact that it builds to at the end. So giving it enough time kind of resets so you can enjoy a little bit of that experience again.
Yeah.
Because you'll never feel it the same way you did the first time.
No.
But you take enough time off, you're like, oh yeah, it builds like this with the music and through these scenes, and you can kind of feel the progression.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not think of that at all. It's a great choice though.
Thanks, man. Yeah, because the end moment is you're right, Matt. When I was younger, the end moment was awesome. Because I was like, when I watched it in 99, I think is when it came out, I was like, hell yeah, fuck corporations, blow it all up, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, well, this dude's a really unreliable narrator. Do we really believe what he's doing is the right thing? Because this guy clearly just had a psychotic break. So how much of what he's told me is the actual truth for why he's doing what he's doing? How can I really trust him? Yeah. So it's a whole different approach to it when you watch the movie now. For me, at least, I was an older person than it was when I was younger. So that's a great point you bring up. All right, what's your 4?
My number 4 is Star Trek, the reboot.
Shit.
Because you have Spock existing within this reality. And then what's his name? Eric Bana's character, like coming through. So the previous reality that got changed, though, is still having an outcome and effect on the current reality as we understand it.
God damn it.
So it's those realities fighting against each other, literally, for supremacy.
Shit.
And that's why I put it on my list.
God damn it. That's great.
Look, I didn't think of Fight Club. There's a lot to choose from for this. I don't even think my list is the 10 best.
Yeah, but I'm a Star Trek fan. I'm a diehard Star Trek fan. I can't believe it didn't occur to me that was an alternate reality. That's a great choice. Fuck. And I can't really take anything out from my top 4 to replace it with that. So, all right.
That's fine. Well, you wanted to bump off Red Sun from earlier, or you don't have to put it on your list.
Yeah, you know what? We got to talk about it anyway. So, okay, I'll bump it off and I'll put Star Trek. I guess I'll make Star Trek my number 5 then, because that's a great choice. Fuck, that's a great choice. All right, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm excited that they're finally talking about doing another one with Chris Pine and everybody else.
Right? Yeah, agreed.
Although, to be perfectly honest, I think you could recast Zachary Quinto, but that's just me. That's just me. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I didn't like him on Heroes. NOSA 42, whatever that show was that was on, or NOS 42 that was on AMC. Didn't like him in that.
I'm not a fan of his.
But I did like his voice over work in Invincible. I thought he was good as the robot in Invincible.
Okay. I like him in Margin Call.
Oh, yeah, Margin Call, right. But that's an ensemble piece. So
I know, but he is kind of the linchpin of the ensemble.
True.
He's the guy that discovers the
true
financial shenanigans that are about to take place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just he can't do the fighting scenes as well as everybody else.
Right.
And I haven't really bought into his Spock. Like seeing old Nimoy in the first one, you're like, that's Spock. Whereas I bought Chris Pine as Kirk, and I bought Carl Urban as Bones, and Simon Pegg. I think I like now after 3 of these, but I was on the fence early on, and Zoe Saldana is fantastic.
Yeah.
If they want to bring back Quinto, that's fine. I just like to see the rest of this cast back together again, because even the next two that come out may or may not be flawed in whatever opinion we want to give. I still watch them and enjoy them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even the Idris Elba one, it's got its moments for me.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's not the one I turn on the most. I will watch Into Darkness.
I like Into Darkness.
Up until the reverse moment from Khan, I think Into Darkness is actually a fucking good movie, man. Like a really good movie. It's enjoyable.
You don't like the little twist-a-roo they gave it?
No, because they didn't earn that moment like the original series did. Like the moment is earned in Khan because you have all these years of Kirk and Spock being friends. In Darkness, you only have one movie, and it's not enough to buy into this relationship so that when someone's life is threatened or dies, to me, at least, and it's my perspective, to me, the overall pain or emotional payoff is not there because you're not as invested. Seeing Spock die and Leonard Nimoy die in Khan after you'd watched the original series, grew up with that as a kid, and then watched that first movie, and then watched all through that Khan thing, you're just like, that's fucking devastating, you know?
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I think between the two, Leonard Nimoy is the far superior Spock, whereas I think Chris Pine can go toe-to-toe with Shatner in some respects as Kirk.
I actually prefer Chris Pine.
Oh, fair.
Well, I just know the ridiculousness of Shatner over the past 60 years in the public eye. So that I factor into all that into Kirk because, anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Where are we at right now?
That was my 4.
All right. So my 4 is the punt from earlier, Groundhog Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I love this movie. It's maybe my favorite Bill Murray movie. Maybe over Ghostbusters. I'm not joking. I just like him in this movie so much. And I think his relationship with Andie MacDowell, who I don't think is the best actress most of the time, really works. And the small town, the way they make that small town work. And yes, you've got interesting characters. They're played for laughs, but they're not played for cheap laughs. They're not played for let me make fun of the small town person laughs, right? They're more universal, the jokes that they're playing on the people who live in that small town, because all of us, and let me break it to you, you can live in a big town and find weird people like that living in your town.
Oh, yeah, there's just more of them.
It's just more of exactly. It's irrelevant of the size.
Yeah. Higher population means higher numbers of those types of individuals.
It's so true. Yeah. So, I mean, and I grew up in a bit of a small town. So to me, I know I connect to the thing. So I really enjoy it. And I like the constant change, and that he's learning something along the way, and it feels authentic what he's learning as well. I mean, he could have argued Scrooged as an alternate reality movie, really, but I like this one. Oh, maybe Scrooge is my favorite Bill Murray. God damn it.
It's in the sketch. He's got quite a few that are really good. We have done his list at some point, but
we have.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've talked about it before, but
it's a great choice.
Thank you. Too. All right. What's your 3?
3 is Into the Spider-Verse.
Ooh, that's a punt.
Okay.
If you can believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Fair enough. What do you got at 3?
A 3 I have It's a Wonderful Life.
That is a punt.
Oh, nice. All right. Maybe 2 is both the same. We have the same.
I do not know. I think so, because we brought it up before the list started.
And
the Matrix.
The Matrix, yes. Number 2, The Matrix.
Interesting. So we landed on the same top 3. I did not anticipate that.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't know if it was going to make your list.
Well, I'll just say this right now. Qualitatively, one of ours we know is an all-time pantheon film.
Oh, I feel like you're already playing for a certain.
I'm legislating
ranking.
A little bit.
You are legislating.
We're not legislating. I'm presenting my case before the jury. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, I hear you.
So. Anyway, we'll get to that discussion in just a mo.
Coming up next, John and
Matt, the Matrix is so good, like we alluded to earlier. They've made 2 that were not good in both of our opinions. And that's being kind. Yeah, from me at least.
There are moments in each of them, but not enough to remotely get close to.
Well, the problem is when it's 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
How many moments, and what does a moment qualify as?
One scene.
Is this moment like Anthony Hopkins getting a Best Actor for Silence of the Lambs, even though he's only on screen for so much? Or is this a moment of where we're actually talking about, like, I like this 2 minutes here, and I like this 5-minute sequence here. There's a lot of bullshit in between. And then I like this over here. Anyway, neither here nor there. Matrix is so good that we're both looking forward to the next one coming out. Tentatively with high hopes.
Crazy. Hope springs eternal, man.
Yeah. It's just the premise is so strong.
Yeah.
You believe you can right the ship. I feel the same way about Aliens. Or Alien, or however you want to call the franchise.
Yeah.
Every once and again, one of these just seems so simplistic. Like, you can still do right by this.
Yeah, and there's so much to explore there. And you're right. Looking forward to the 4th one. I think they finished shooting. They're in post-production now. So hopefully at some point we get a trailer. And I don't think it's coming out till either later this year or early next year. So hopefully we'll get a trailer for this, at least a teaser, like a 1-minute teaser or something.
It hasn't gotten bumped to next summer.
I don't know. I thought it was coming out.
To me, this is either a Christmas or a summer tentpole. But it feels more summer tentpole-y to me.
Let's see here. As of June 2nd, the release date is December 22nd this year.
We don't have a trailer. That's not coming out this year. That's getting pushed.
Oh, that's as of June 2nd of 2021. They're saying it's coming out. It was moved up to December 22nd. It was moved up from where it was. It was supposed to be, I think, April of next year, and then it got moved up.
But how have we not seen during Olympic coverage trailers for The Matrix coming in Christmas?
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I realize like that's super early, but not for a movie that large.
Yeah, it was supposed to go April 1st of 2022, but now they moved it to December 22nd of 2021. So fascinating.
Yeah, I think they need to push that back to April or May. If we don't have a trailer by now, I'm just assuming from the outside looking in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd want to start the hype on this early because I'm sure this wasn't cheap.
Well, we still don't have a Spider-Man trailer, and that's supposed to come out, I think, sometime this year as well. For Spider-Man.
Yeah, that is true.
So,
but they've at least like put out teasers, and they're putting out like Tom Holland talking about what the potential name could be, and they're trying to build social media hype. I haven't seen squat from Matrix.
Yeah, because it comes out 5 days before Matrix comes out. Does the
Spidey?
Yeah. No Way Home. Yeah.
A
lot of people have been complaining we haven't gotten a trailer. I see people on social media going like, "What the fuck? It's August."
But at least they've been putting little breadcrumbs out there.
Oh, they have. Yeah. A lot of rumors about Daredevil. A lot of rumors about all the Spider-Man. Well, not rumors necessarily. That's been confirmed. Most of the people coming back, but yeah.
All right. Well, that's our collective number 2.
Yep. All right.
So then my 1 year 3 is It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
And then year 1, my 3 is
Into the
Spidey, Into the Spideyverse.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything more to these movies? I feel like we've talked about them many, many times here on the show.
I would say It's a Wonderful Life is the one we've talked about the least.
Okay.
More than likely.
Okay.
Um,
what is it about that film that appeals to you still?
Well, the thing is, I didn't come to it until the past handful of years.
Oh, right. That's right. Well, yeah, you mentioned that.
And the fact that it is as good, if not better than advertised, you fully understand why this has been part of the Christmas movie going experience for over half a century.
Yeah.
And I think the most impressive part to me was the editing and pacing is almost on modern levels of what you expect from a story that is this long.
That's a great point.
Yeah, that's what I was blown away by most. Like, this thing moves. You've got an intricate storyline that you can fully follow. There's characters coming in and out, and they don't have to do big expositional pieces explaining to the, story and director are both just assuming the audience will be able to follow along like we do now.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, Mr. Smith goes to Washington and tells you the entire fucking name of the movie. It's still like, talkies are what, 20 years in at that point? People have been accustomed to it, but you haven't gotten high concept yet. We haven't gotten into Kubrick in the 70s.
Right.
So,
although that high concept stuff was happening at that time in other countries, like German expressionism, and silent film, all that stuff. Not so much in American filmmaking, but certainly
popular consumption like this.
Right. Like Russia with Battleship Potemkin and what they had, and then France with the Joan of Arc story. It was different, but they've also been around longer. So their ideas of this stuff have been developing or germinating for quite some time before we showed up as a country.
And plus, the Russians aren't, but the French are appealing to a French crowd first and foremost.
Yeah.
And that's a much smaller population base as opposed to the, diaspora of the U.S., this massive conglomeration of all kinds of different ethnicities and races and creeds and all that. So you kind of need to make something a little bit more general.
Right.
As opposed to we're French.
Oh, diaspora. Excuse me. Oh. $10 word.
Hey, somebody read a thesaurus. Anybody else surprised I just said thesaurus?
Thesaurus. It's full of synonyms. And I come back to it all the time, man. It's still a joyful. I bought it in 4K last year, and it's even like the fact that they remastered it the way that they did it's almost like watching the film all over again from scratch. It's so vibrant. And you're right, Matt, it cooks. It's a film that cooks. It isn't caught up in the melodrama of some of the films from that time. There is real shit going on. He is progressing from being excited to be going off and seeing the world, and then these moments that constantly hold him back. And they are real devastating moments that affect him, and change him. And he becomes at times bitter and even frustrated with the situation, even though he's got this awesome wife, he's got this good job, he's dealing with some awesome people in the town as his clients. It's still his life he's not happy with what he has because he's still hung up on what he could have had in his mind. That kind of eventually catches up to him when that thing happens with Uncle Billy and Mr. Potter. And now his tenuous hold on his reality, his like somewhat how can I say this? The walls or the dam that he had constructed emotionally within himself cracks open wide to the point where suicide becomes an option for him so quickly. And it's the angel who comes in and shows him what his life would have actually been like without him in it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The difference that he has made, even
right.
though he doesn't feel like his impact, there haven't been any ripples from this pebble.
Right. Right. Yeah. He doesn't see how his presence has changed the world. Yeah. Yeah. It's a great film. Such a good film. All right. There you go. That's our separate top 10 alternate reality movies. We're going to put this list together. Got any honorable mentions?
So many. There are legitimately. There's a whole bevy of choices. Why don't we do the list first, and we can just rifle off some.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So what do we got? I
mean, are we really saying that Into the Spider-Verse, which is an amazing film, is somehow better than something that stood the test of time so far?
That's fine. You're not going to get an argument from me who loves classic films. So I just think it was more of a modern film, so I wanted to put it near the top. My own personal decision.
Right, so do that Spidey Matrix.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
All right. Well, now you have Star Trek at 5, and I have that at 4. So Star Trek.
Okay, Star Trek.
And Groundhog Day.
Yeah. I have it 4.
Fine. Okay.
And then both of us have Source Code, and I think Pleasantville. So you want to move those up?
It's 7, 8, and 9, 10.
Yeah, 9, 10. So
all right. So we've got 1 through 5 finished. Do you want to pepper in a couple of our other higher ones and put those in?
Sure. Into the Spider-Verse, the Matrix, and Groundhog.
All right. My 5 is my next highest.
Yeah,
so what do you got?
Take it, man. Take it. My 6 is my next highest.
Okay. All right, now it's 6 versus 6. What do you got?
Oh shit! Fight Club.
All right, I'll take Fight Club.
That's thank you. That's very kind of you.
Just
No.
Then what? Source Code Pleasantville, and we're done.
Sounds good. Oh wow! All right,
done.
Let's do this thing. The top 10 alternate reality movies. Yeah. At number 10,
Pleasantville.
At number 9,
Source Code.
At number 8,
Inception.
At number 7,
Fight Club.
At number 6,
Alice in Wonderland.
At number 5,
Groundhog Day.
At number 4,
Star Trek.
At number 3,
The Matrix.
coming in at the deuce spot,
Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
And our number 1 alternate reality movie is
It's a Wonderful Life.
Clarence. There we go. Nice stuff. All right, what are your honorable mentions, man?
So that I was flirting with, like basically,
sure.
I type out all the ones and then I bold the ones that are genuinely have a shot, or at least in consideration. Annihilation.
Oh, nice choice.
Coraline.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I'm shocked that didn't end up on your list.
I already had 2 other animation.
Gotcha.
With Into the Spider-Verse and Alice in Wonderland. I was like, that's plenty. Event Horizon.
Yeah.
Didn't know if I guess it technically counts. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh yeah, kind of. Yeah. Because the animated reality, right? Yeah.
Yeah, existing within Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an alternate reality where that exists along with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Tron Legacy.
Yes, I had that on my list as an honorable mention.
Would you have counted Eternal Sunshine?
I no, because that's they use a contraption to remove your memory. But you could make a case that by removing the memories, you have constructed an alternate reality that this person is in, even though they're still existing in the main reality. Their memory being wiped of this particular thing creates a new reality that they're existing in within the old reality. So you could make a case, but I
kept it off because it's like that doesn't seem
right.
And Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame was real close. I was like, but is that you can make the case, but
it's going to make a lot of lists over the years. It's fine if it doesn't make this one.
Yeah, it's true. Very true. My other two are Vanilla Sky.
Sure.
I really do. That's I do champion that film from Russell Crowe. I know it's a remake as well. And The Butterfly Effect, which is the only, I think, Ashton Kutcher led film that I legitimately enjoy. And I like how he's constantly existing in different realities in this pursuit of fixing things with Amy Smart, who's the lead and his love interest in the movie. I think it's actually damn good. And that whole shaking of the head as it encounters a new reality really works for me. So I like Butterfly Effect. Cool. All right. Well, there you go. That's our top 10 alternate reality movies. Some of our honorable mentions there as well. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Matt, what do we got to tell them?
Thanks for tuning in this week, whether you watched over at youtube.com/the top 10 podcast with the number 10, or you're listening to us on your podcast feed of choice. We thoroughly appreciate it. Please follow us at Top 10 Show on Twitter and on Instagram. It is /the top 10 podcast with the number 10. So hit us up over there. We'd love to interact with you across all our various social media. And you can follow me anywhere at Matt Knows. Please check out Settle the Score and dropping dimes, squeezing blood from a turnip now that the off season is officially set in. So let's see what we get out of the meat grinder coming up in the very near future. Anyway, check those out. Exactly. Is that sausage? They'll never know the difference. So
just put that pink slime in there. Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, and also Matt and I did a special episode of Game Time on my channel. He's very kind to come on. Matt we talked about an hour and 15 minutes about the NBA free agency, the madness that's going on there. So if you haven't watched that, go and watch it. And I think I put the audio up on the Outlaw Nation podcast feed as well. But yeah, you can find me at The Roca Says on Twitter and on Instagram, on Twitch, The Outlaw Nation, and yes, my YouTube channel, youtube.com/John Roca Says, all kinds of reviews and trailer reactions there as well. And and the Cinephiles and the Geek Buddies podcasts, if you want to listen to more of what we do there. All right. We're out of here. Oh, and the Patreon. Did we take the Patreon already?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So, and please remember to join us at the Patreon, www.patreon.com/the top 10, the number 10 there. See all the multiple tiers. And hey, a lot of you are heading back to work. A lot of you starting to see a little more income coming in. Hey, we'd love for you guys to come back on the train and start supporting us again, supporting all the things we're doing, so that we, at some point down the road, will open the door to the possibility of doing the shows live again, going to your town, going to London, going to Chicago, going to wherever, and doing at Houston, which we still owe a show to, and doing our show there. So, let's open the door. It is with your support that we can do it. And also you get to hang out and do the Topic Thunder and all of that we do, and Golden Ticket, which the second season might be coming up real soon. So, all right, that's it from us. Y'all take care of yourselves. Be well. And we'll talk to you next time on another brand new episode of the Top 10.